All right, you guys, we are going to move on very briefly. I don't want to get too deep into the weeds of the Kramnik stuff, but let's get into the Kramnik stuff. I'm going to change the scene, and this is going to more or less be the final time that I talk about it, because I'm not going to keep going with it. So this is going to be more or less the final time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cover this very relatively briefly because I don't want to get super deep into the weeds. Now Kramnik made a post which is on recent hysteria. I think that's this post, if I'm not mistaken. He made a post on recent hysteria. Kramnik deleted hundreds of posts from statisticians, people who have spent their lives studying statistics and mathematics, and then he made this post and he obviously locked the thread so nobody can respond. So first things first, we have we have two tweets from Kramnik. He says, I don't know why he's linking members or what that means, but he says, in short, because most of these do not fit the criteria of this particular test, just one fabricated number from many to get to some number of probability, which wouldn't be very shocking. The whole data science research presented by the streamer is just laughable for anyone who has a clue about it, but never mind, believe it if you want. First things first, obviously, for Kramnik, it's a nice way of trying to say that these are statistics that I came up with. Fact is, there were statisticians who emailed me directly, including one from the University of Chicago Booth School. Additionally, there were many mathematicians who posted both on RChess as well as on Kramnik's thread. Kramnik deleted all these posts. So the first thing that he's saying here about data science, unfortunately for him, this is not my research. I never claimed to be a statistician, even though we make the jokes all the time. I'm not a statistician, I'm not a mathematician, I never will be, but neither will Kramnik. So when actual people who have spent their time in the field, who have worked in the field, who have studied for years, post these things, you shouldn't just dismiss it just because it doesn't fit your narrative. That's the first thing. And then we were talking about correct counting probability, not like saying 45 streak from 30 to 35,000 games is low probability. Unfortunately for Kramnik, this has been thoroughly debunked by many mathematicians. This has been posted across the forums. I think many people have already proven that from my games, there is literally a 99% chance probability of me having a streak like that. Of course, I also achieved a streak yesterday by handpicking, or I should say cherry picking a couple of specific opponents to get my streak of, what was it, 47.5 out of 48 or so forth. But at any rate, it very clearly does happen. And when you cherry pick your opponents and play certain people, and you can sort of get a sense of their style, as you guys see when I stream and I talk about how I'm playing. You would have heard 3 hours ago, you guys, maybe was it 3 hours already? 3 hours ago, you heard me play against you heard when I started playing against this Russian IM, and I made it very clear that I thought it was a dangerous matchup. I didn't feel great about the matchup. I knew it was going to be a matchup that was hard. I wasn't just going to be able to win the games with my eyes closed. Whereas yesterday against the 2700 FMs, I had a pretty good sense that I was going to win those games with my eyes closed. So that's the first thing that Kramnik doesn't seem to understand. But there are many other variables that we can talk about. I mean, I guess I'll get through it first, because there's a lot of nastiness in here. But it says, I suspect you have a PhD in math as well as Hikaru data scientist. Unfortunately for Kramnik, it's nice to throw around insults and say this, but the fact is, there are people with PhD in mathematics. One of these guys posted on RChess yesterday. I forget which university it was, but he literally gave his name. He said the university, I think it was in Poland, and he gave specific stats. So Kramnik, when he says this, I mean, it's nice to throw around insults and everything, but unfortunately, he's not answering the questions, which have been provided by many statisticians and mathematicians together. So, but among all the nonsense he is told, trying to pretend he knows something about the subject. This is the second best after taking FIDE classical chess ratings measuring Chess.com online blitz. Now, once again, I have never pretended to be an expert on the subject. What I've referred to is what other people have posted, people who've listed their names, people who have clearly provided proofs that they are mathematicians and statisticians, people who have worked in the field. So, unfortunately for Kramnik, when he says this, what I'm referring to are not some statistics that I came up with on my own. I'm referring to what is out there and is publicly available. So once again, unfortunately for Kramnik, he can try to be oblivious and try to pretend that people have that, you know, that I'm making this up or people are making this up or whatever, but the fact is that's simply not the truth. And Kramnik is also, at the end of the day, not an expert in any of this. Kramnik is a great chess player, former world chess champion, one of the best players of all time. But that being said, he is not an expert in this field. And so when I'm referring to the statistics that actual statisticians and mathematicians have given, I'm referring to their work. I'm not talking about my work. I don't claim to be some expert in the field. I'm not. In fact, I'm probably like 500. And so is Kramnik at the end of the day. Neither of us are experts in this field, which is why it's really imperative, in my opinion, that it should be left to either FIDE and or chess.com both groups, both entities, I should say, which do have, I think, mathematicians / statisticians who do look at cheat detection and do run the data themselves. So very, very strange of Kramnik to say this, but let's keep going. And also, you know what else is funny? I made a mistake when I used the classical ratings, but if I had used the blitz ratings, the blitz ratings would actually make it even clearer that the streak I went on both the first day and yesterday was, at the end of the day, completely legit. In fact, yesterday I beat this Turkish player named Adar007, and his standard rating is 2400, but his blitz rating is 2167. So at a 2878 or whatever my blitz rating is according to FIDE, playing against a 2167, that is a 600-point differential. So the odds of me beating this Turkish kid like 16 games in a row, I think, are like actually extremely high, because if there's a 600-point differential, you're supposed to win something like 98% of your games, I believe. So that needs to be said, but let's keep going. Out of those 35,000 games, most can't be included if you have at least a basic understanding of analyzing data. Again, Kramnik should explain what he means by this, because I literally only play games on stream. That's what I do. I play games on stream. All the data is out there. You can literally watch all my videos on YouTube. In fact, I recommend Kramnik does. I mean, I definitely would appreciate the ad revenue from Kramnik going over all those videos where he thinks there's something I did that wasn't right, and the videos speak for themselves, as I like to say, because I literally have not played off stream in probably 3 years, and even beyond that, Chess Champions Tour, of course, chess.com/chess24, they have all the footage of that too. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's very strange that Kramnik says this, doesn't provide any data. All right. And he says, and those in fact 46 game streaks, one of many is performed this year. So if you don't take numbers brutally and calculate probabilities with true data, by the way, which is also interesting, the real number leaves no doubt. This is why faking numbers and sending bots here, shouting nervously and playing a victim, have started on full Mountie now. Well, unfortunately for Kramnik, there are a couple of things. I would have to have an ego literally 100 times the size of my ego, and it would have to be beyond chess to literally pay bots to come and post comments. I think it's very disrespectful of Kramnik. You know, when you look at the world of chess, there's so many people in chess who give Kramnik a lot of credit for being the world champion. They take him at his word, they give him respect, and for Kramnik to basically be insulting all of these mathematicians, all these statisticians who provided their names, made posts, used actual mathematical figures, is very, very disrespectful. And to me, I think it shows that Kramnik simply has no respect for anybody at the end of the day, because these are not my stats. These are stats from people who've worked in the field, people who know what they're talking about. Kramnik is not an expert in the field. He did not even go to high school. Of course, to be fair, I'm not trying to say that I'm some genius or I have some great education either, but Kramnik did not even go to high school. So for Kramnik to put out this stuff and act like he's right and everybody's wrong is very, very disappointing. I think even Elon Musk, for example, who owns Twitter, I don't think Elon could probably like have like 100,000 bots go out there and post comments, and he's literally like one of the most powerful guys, and he, of course, I think is the richest as well in the world. I don't think even he could do that. So for Kramnik to do this is very sad. Now, I will finish this. He says, might convince some people without mathematical knowledge, but wouldn't do for most. Enough educated and most decent IQ people to understand everything and create the opinion about this whole story, so will not manage to hide the truth, those guys. Now, what's really sad about this is that Kramnik is looking at this from a very specific angle, or at least in my opinion this is, which is that Kramnik thinks I'm being loud about this because I've done something wrong. Unfortunately for Kramnik, that's not what this is about. What this is about is plain and simple. You don't get to make false accusations when you are not an expert. You don't get to make false accusations when you do not have data to back yourself up, and that is the bottom line. And also, beyond that, it's not really about me. It's about a couple of other people very clearly. When you hear Kramnik basically accusing people like Jospin or Bortnik or Dennis Lazovic or others of cheating, they don't really have a way of responding to it. That is the bottom line. They really don't have a way of responding to it, so there's nothing they can do. So when I'm being loud about it, it's because someone doesn't get to say these things without actual proof. They don't get to falsely accuse people over and over again without having to pay a price. That's the bottom line. And so that's the actual reason why I'm being loud about this whole situation. It is not about me. I know Kramnik wants to think, oh, he's being loud because he cheated, he's hoping that I don't keep going with my stats, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, that's not the truth, and that's not the reality, because as I know myself with 100% certainty, I have not cheated. So for Kramnik, I would really hope that he takes a little bit of a break from social media. He takes a break from all this. He tries to relax and calm down, rather than trying to make this into some sort of like personal vendetta, personal issue, whatever it might be. I do think if we look at the picture as a whole, what Kramnik has tried to do on average is good for chess. I do think it's a good thing if there are people sort of from outside FIDE, outside chess.com trying to look at cheating, but as a whole, Kramnik is not the person who is a statistician or a mathematician. I think he needs to step back and really sort of look in the mirror is what I would say. Because at the end of the day, he's trying to do something good, but with what he's done now, nobody's going to take him seriously. I mean, that's the sad reality. Nobody is going to take him seriously. Even though he might look at like a title Tuesday next week, say there's some like 2,600 who wins the event, and he might look at some data, he might think the guy's cheating. But now, of course, after what he's done, everyone's going to just laugh and be like, you have no credibility, you don't know what you're doing. So I really do think Kramnik just needs to, you know, take a step back and really like think about what's going on here before he continues with this, because he's really only making himself look worse. And at the end of the day, he might not be great at math. I mean, obviously he's not great at math, I'm not great at math, but you know, he is a former world chess champion. That's the bottom line. He's a former world chess champion, and it really would be a shame to see him die on this hill where there simply is nothing there. So that's all that I really have to say, broadly speaking, about the topic. You know, at the end of the day, I've played so many games on chess.com, and I do believe chess.com does run the games that I play. They run the games that Magnus plays. I also believe, even beyond what Kramnik is saying, that chess.com, I think this is well known, but I think chess.com actually can see how often you're like tabbing out of windows, like what you're doing on your computer at the end of the day. And I probably played more games on stream than anybody else. I don't think it's even close, actually. So the way that I look at it is I view myself very much as a data point where people look at my games, and I see myself as someone who's played more games than anyone else. And I think that I'm giving people data. So when people outperform me over these long course of games, I think that can be a signal of something. So I'm very proud of the fact that at the end of the day, with all the games I've played, I'm giving chess.com all these data points, all these things that they can measure and compare everybody's games against. So I'm very proud of my record playing online. Very, very proud of it. And I have nothing to hide, as I said earlier. So a little bit disappointed to hear this hear this from Kramnik. I mean, as I said, you know, he is a great chess player, one of the greatest of all time. He beat Garry Kasparov. He's made so many contributions to the game itself, but I just hope that Kramnik can sort of take a second, step back, relax, but more importantly, show some humility and give some respect to the people who actually have spent their lives in this field, even if it's not their lives, but people who studied mathematics and statistics for years and years and years, rather than just basically say, I'm right, everybody else is wrong, you're like paid bots and everything else. I think it's really important that he sort of looks at the whole picture and deals with the reality. So that's the that's the bottom line. That's really the only take that I have on this. I don't really feel like there's anything more to cover. I mean, maybe Kramnik will say something else, but you know, I think at the end of the day, I just hope that he can step back and sort of chill. He will only double down instead of recognize his mistakes. I mean, maybe you never know. I have no idea again, but you know, I'm trying to be like sort of charitable and give him the benefit of the doubt here, honestly. But you know, as I said, I just really hope that he takes a step back and he thinks about everything that's going on. So that's pretty much it in terms of what I have to say. There's not much else. You know, he can say these things, but you know, I wish Vlad well. Ultimately, I wish him well. I just hope that he can focus on what really matters. And I also think ultimately it's up to chess.com, it's up to FIDE to really do the statistics and look at the games that all the players are playing. Honestly, look at the games that I'm playing. Like I'd be more than happy for FIDE to be looking at all the games I'm playing online, over the board, whatnot. Like I have nothing to hide. So I mean, I actually think chess.com has looked at a lot of my games. I do think they probably look at my games more than anyone else's. So yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, it's sad to see, but that's really where I'm going to leave it for now, because there's just I don't see anything good coming from it. I think ultimately it's actually to finish with two last little points. It's very, very bad overall, because it really makes a mockery out of the whole situation. Because like cheating is an issue. I do believe there probably are cheaters who are not being caught playing in events like, well, not events like, but I would say specifically like Title Tuesday and or Arena Kings. But now Kramnik, who is trying to do something good, has sort of lost his way. So that's very dangerous. The only other thing which I said earlier, not today, but I said the other day, which I do think Kramnik is right on, I think he said this before, is I do think Kramnik is right that players are a lot less likely to cheat against either Magnus or myself as opposed to say playing against Kramnik or Fabiano. I do believe that he is right on that. I do think a player is much less likely to cheat against either of us simply because the number of people who are watching our games at any given time is very, very large. Obviously online there are a lot of people watching my games. Magnus, whether it's on chess.com or if he's streaming, there are a lot of people watching his games too. So there literally are thousands of people always watching every single game that we play. So I do think Kramnik is right on that. That is the one thing that I think he's right on. But again, I just really hope that he can take a step back and sort of calm down. Really, that's what I have to say. So okay, you guys, let's move on. Still a few games going in this match. Oh, we have an article. What is this? Okay, here's an article. Let's cover an article as well while we're at it. Let me stop the music. Okay, here we go. We have an article. Belgian IM handed 1-year FIDE ban after refusing body scan. Okay, let me change the scene a little bit. Just this is better, right? Yeah, it's better. Okay, it's an article by by Tarjay S. IM Stefan Doc X has been handed a 1-year ban from taking part in FIDE rated tournaments after refusing a metal detector body scan during an incident in Spain. Doc X was found not guilty of computer cheating and says he has appealed the suspension. Wait, so wait a second. So he was handed a 1-year ban from taking part in FIDE tournaments after refusing a metal detector body scan, but he was found not guilty of computer cheating. So as I understand what this means is the guy basically the guy refused a metal detector scan, but there's no actual hard proof that he cheated, but because he refused to scan, he got a 1-year ban. Interesting. That feels a little bit incongruent, if that's the right word. I mean, that feels incongruent somehow. So anyway, let's keep going. The 49-year-old, a 3-time member of the Belgian Olympiad team, has been sanctioned for a year by FIDE's Ethics and Disciplinary Commission for the incident that took place during the Benidorm Open in December last year. At the end of October, the full decision was published on the EDC's website. Chess.com reported on the story back then, mentioning the rumors that had been floating around the Dutch and Belgian chess scene for a decade prior to the incident in Spain in 2012. One second, sorry, I got something in my mouth. Okay, a Belgian club reported for the alleged cheating, but he was eventually cleared of the charges, according to Schachfabrik.be. At the Benidorm Open, the incident with Doc X took place during the 8th round. Even though the tournament was not FIDE rated, anti-cheating measures such as body scans were in place, as was the compulsory checking of codes with special attention given by the arbiters to players who were away from the board. Okay. This is just a picture, I guess. Yeah, a picture of a player being scanned. Okay. Chief Arbiter Ramon Garcia became suspicious of Doc X after his frequent visits to the bathroom and followed him. Garcia said he stayed in the bathroom area for 15 minutes while Doc X was inside one of the cubicles. Now, first thing that's kind of funny is I gave this story a long time ago, but this probably was during the London Chess Classic. I want to say this was like maybe 2015 maybe or 16, but at any rate, during that event there were 2 players who were going to the restroom a lot. Those 2 players were myself as well as Jan Nepomniachtchi. At a certain point, one of the arbiters basically was assigned to follow us to the bathroom and see if we would stay in the bathroom for a long time before coming out. So this is pretty funny actually when you think about it, but we were not in the bathroom for 15 minutes. He stated that he saw clear reflections on the floor tiles, which he interpreted as light coming from a mobile phone in use. After Doc X returned to the tournament hall, he was confronted by arbiters who asked to scan him with a metal detector. The requests were refused, and when Doc X continued to refuse even after being warned twice that he would be disqualified, he forfeited the game and did not play in the final round. The arbiters did not find a mobile phone in the bathroom area. So basically what the implication, as I understand it, is here, the implication is that he used a phone, but he refused to be scanned, so he probably had a phone on him. But because they didn't find a phone, you can't actually prove he's cheating. But because he refused to be scanned, it's still the 1-year ban. Okay. In his reply to the EDC, the Belgium IM denied all allegations. He said he did not use a mobile phone and explained that he was sick that day and needed to go to the bathroom several times. The allegations by Garcia were totally unfounded and false, he claimed. Okay. But he refused to be scanned. He refused to be scanned. Wait, but he refused to be scanned. Okay. Seems a little bit strange, actually. I mean, it seems strange. I mean, it seems strange when it sounds like they actually told him twice, like he would be kicked out of the tournament. So Doc X regrets that he did not submit to a scan from a metal detector during the round, but explains he was shocked by the unfounded allegations towards him and was also suffering from physical problems, according to his response to the EDC. Okay. Following Garcia's report on the matter, an investigatory panel from FIDE's Fair Play Commission, FPL, consisting of GMs Alexander Kolovich, Richard Newman, and Vincent Gereitz, sorry if I mispronounced that, investigated the matter. The report focused primarily on alleged cheating by Doc X. The panel also received an analysis by I.M. Kenneth Regan, a professor at the State University of New York, who has advised FIDE on computer cheating for years. He found nothing out of the ordinary in Doc X's games in the tournament or from the past 5 years. Ooh. Oof. Wow. So this really seems to be going. I was expecting to say something different. Yeah, this is crazy, actually. Why didn't he just submit to the scan then? I mean, like, because either there are a couple of options. I read about this guy before, but now I'm really confused. I mean, but this means a couple of things. This means, like, there's an obvious possibility that he was cheating. Obviously, like, he had a phone, refused to be scanned, whatever. That's one option. Option two is that he was not cheating and he's been railroaded for, you know, he just didn't feel right or whatever. He didn't want to do a scan. But the problem is, what does this actually say then if Kenneth Regan's model found nothing in the past 5 years? This is really the crux of the issue. Like, if his model didn't find anything over 5 years, and we have had people like Fabiano Caruana, who has said, by the way, that he believes that people have gotten past Kenneth Regan's model, then it's a lot more troubling. So yeah, and also I would say as well, having played in so many tournaments now where there's scans available, I think, like, anytime you go, you're like, it's a little bit of a hassle. It's annoying. Like, I'll give you an example. In the Isle of Man, after a couple of my games, they scanned both of us. So for example, when I played my game against I think it was Aryan Chopra, they basically asked both of us to do a scan after the game. When I played against, I think, was it Chepa? No, it wasn't Chepa. When I played Arjun in the last round, also they asked us to do a scan after the game. Of course, we both consented, obviously all good and everything. So, like, as a player, when you get asked this, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, I mean, you want to do things that are in the best interest of chess. And so it seems really weird that that basically he won't consent to the scan, but then also, like, I mean, which seems very, very suspicious, but then also Kenneth Regan's model shows nothing, which is also, like, then you begin to wonder what even is going on. So it says the investigatory panel considered 2 possible scenarios. Doc X cheated by using a mobile phone, and that is the reason he refused a metal scan. Number 2, Doc X did not cheat and refused the metal scan due to being surprised and not feeling well. The panel came to the conclusion that the first scenario was most likely and recommended a ban of 2 years from taking part in tournaments. He might be hiding his Microsoft. You mean Doc X? He's got all these Word docs. I mean, Doc X is the ending for Microsoft Word docs. So, okay, the EDC pointed out that computer-aided cheating is an increasingly problematic issue in chess and that it has the potential to damage the sport. They note the refusal of a player to undergo a scan without sufficient reason will unavoidably lead to well-founded cheating suspicions against that player. This is especially the case where all participants in a tournament in advance have been made aware of the security measures in force and that random checks will be made anytime. Exactly. A refusal to comply with the request of a scan is especially serious in cases like this one, where the CA did confront the respondent with suspicions of cheating by using a mobile phone. EDC called Doc X's conduct and his refusal to submit to a body scan highly suspicious, but disagreed with the conclusion by the investigatory panel and found him not guilty of cheating. Even if the respondent's conduct during round 8 of the event, especially his refusal to submit him to a check, is highly suspicious, the EDC chamber is not comfortably satisfied that the respondent did consult a mobile phone during play. No one has observed the respondent carrying or using a mobile device. The level of his play does not indicate any use of illegal assistance. Even if, on a balance of probabilities, the facts speak against the respondent in his case, it has not reached a level of comfortable satisfaction. The respondent must therefore enjoy the benefit of doubt and shall therefore not be found guilty of computer-aided cheating. However, Doc X's refusal to undergo a body scan as requested by the arbiter was a serious breach of an important rule, the EDC notes. The commission took into consideration that Doc X was subject to a 6-month suspension by the Belgian Chess Federation and has issued him a ban of 1 year from taking part in FIDE-rated tournaments and chess-related activities as a player. In response to a request for a comment by chess.com, Doc X says that he has appealed the ban. I am satisfied that the commission concluded that all allegations of cheating were unfounded. Doc X does not want to make any further comments until the appeal has been decided. So there are, I would argue that, I mean, I think that this case is an exact reason why there should be I think there should be a standard rule applied if you refuse scan. So like, I feel like if you refuse a scan, it should be an automatic, like 1 year ban, 2 year ban, whatever they want to make it, but it should be automatic. There should be no discussion, no debate. It should just be hard set that there's a punishment if you refuse a scan. Because otherwise you get to this situation where now it's very murky. Like what do we know? Like, sure, he was banned by the Belgian Chess Federation, that's fine, that's all nice and fine, but what are you supposed to do? Because honestly, he refused the scan, which is extremely suspicious, but then the Ken Regan's model said there's no cheating, and then you're left in this, like, it's very complex. It's similar to refusing a breath test for a DWI. That's a good example, you're right. Yeah, that's a fair example, I agree, because you're right, you can refuse to do the breathalyzer, and of course if you refuse, I think they just throw you in the slammer anyway, right? But maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think so. So I think that's a great example, the breathalyzer. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to consent to it, but yeah, you get thrown in the slammer. Yeah, I agree. Or you get your driver's license suspended. I wouldn't know, obviously. So yeah, at the end of the day, boys and girls out there, or ladies and gentlemen, do not drink and drive. It's very bad. So okay, moving on, we have some other stuff to cover as well. What is this? This is what is this? This is a tweet. Chess.com. What is this? Oh, let's watch this. Let's make it full screen. Let me change the scene. Bobby Fischer. Karpov. By the way, isn't this sick? Like, look at this video. Like Fischer was 2780. I can't speed it up, it's on Twitter, but Fischer was 2780, and then number 1 at 75 is Karpov. How long till we get someone back at 2780? You know what's interesting? This is interesting. Look at this chart. Like, this feels like today where there's like deflation. You have Karpov, or you have Fischer at 2780, and then it dips down to 2690. It feels like a deflation like we have in the modern world a little bit. 27 in 1977. Okay. Korchnoi. Here comes Korchnoi. Michael Tal. No, but this is wild. Like, this is 1981, you guys, and look at how the rating of Karpov is still like 65 points lower than Fischer, and Fischer was in 1972. Like, this is pretty sick, actually. Garry Kasparov. I'm gonna be honest, seeing Garry Kasparov at 2690 like literally just looks like it just looks like a misprint, because like I literally, from the time I started following chess, Gary was like 2800, so seeing Gary here at 2690, it's like, it just looks wrong. Like, it just looks completely wrong. You're like, wait a second, what is 2690? Like, I mean, it looks ridiculous to see. Yeah, 2690 just looks absolutely ridiculous for Kasparov. There they go. Gary passed him. Yeah, 1984. Okay. $2,800, 1990. When they fly off the left, like you see how Halifman's flying off the screen, I assume that means that they're just dipping, their rating's going right down, or they went inactive. It doesn't mean they died. I think it's just their rating just went off the cliff. Here comes Vishy though. Vishy. Karpov still trying to hold number 2. Here comes Kramnik. Interesting, right? Interesting. By the way, this was peak Gary, to be clear. Like, look at Gary at 2850, like 2850 in 2001, and everyone else so much lower. Like, I mean, that's what a lot of people don't realize, is how good Gary was. Like, Gary was like amazing. Like, I mean, really, like, people forget just how good he was to the time. But 2850 in 2000, when everyone's like at least 60 70 points lower, like, it's pretty boss like. Yeah, and there goes Gary going right off the graph here after like 20 plus years of dominance, 20 plus years of absolute dominance by Gary. Amazing stuff, amazing. So we bid audios to Gary. Topolov, yep. When does Magnus show up? Pretty soon, I would think. There's Magnus, yep. Yeah, but now Magnus establishes dominance, yep. Lev very close for a bit too. Oh, Hikaru showing up. Bobby. Yep. And look, there's Hikaru, 2748. Yeah, you see, I'm down to the absolute bottom here, you guys. I'm down to the absolute bottom. So sad, right? So sad. It's gonna go straight back up. Yeah. Yeah, and there you go at the very end. See, Magnus just maintaining it throughout, obviously. But one thing that's very interesting about this video is it's very clear there's always been like a dominant number one. Like, you could see like Fischer, then Karpov for a long time, then Kasparov for a long time, obviously Magnus for a long time. And it really does show how there's always like one person better than the rest. What was that dip from Magnus? I mean, he's lost a lot of points in 2023. So that was interesting too. All right, let me escape this. Let me stop the video. That was pretty good as well. What else do we have? Let's see. What is this? Interesting. I normally don't go to Reddit, but I guess I'll do this one time. Okay, what is this? We have this from our chess. What is this? Ben Feingold's real top 10 chess players. Okay. I watched Ben Feingold's top 10 and it was great, but something felt off. He always said that the way you know how good someone is by the length of their Wikipedia article, and yet here he is talking about their chess game. So I guess it's up to me to get to the truth. Number one, Bobby Fischer, 26,094 words. Okay, so Bobby's number one. Number two is Magnus Carlsen, 20,000. Wow, 6,000 less words from Ben about Magnus and Bobby. Okay, number three, Gary Kasparov, 19,984 words. Okay, So far, it looks like a pretty legit list, right? Number 4, Vishy Anand, 16,036 words. Number 5, Judith Polgar, 14,288 words. Number 6, Hu Yifan, 11,411 words. Number 7, Hikaru Nakamura. This is from Wikipedia. My wiki page only has 11,000 words. Yeah, I gotta up my wiki stats, you guys. I gotta up my wiki stats. Wait, is that true? Hu Yifan's Wikipedia page is more. Wait, I gotta check that. That doesn't sound right, does it? I doubt. I don't believe that. Wait, I don't believe that. Let me take a look. I don't believe Judith Polgar's. Judith actually probably is, but Hu Yifan's is longer than mine. Oh, maybe it is. It actually, there are a lot of words. It shows through 2019. There actually are a fair chunk of words on her page. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right, now you know what's shocking about this after me with 11,000? Number 8 is how did they write 10,768 words about Howard Staunton? That is a dude who lived in like the 1800s. How are there 11,000 words on a dude from like 250 years ago? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely obscene. That is crazy. That's crazy, right? Howard Staunton. That's insane. How are there 10,000 words about a bro who lived from 1810 to 1874? That is insane. How do we even know that much information about him? I'm not jealous. I'm actually legitimately stumped. That's insane. Wow. That's amazing. No, he was British. That's why. No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, he was alive like in the 1820s. I mean, that's like 10,000 words on his sideburns alone. Yeah, just because of the sideburns. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good stuff, but okay. Let's keep going. What else do we have? Number 9, Emmanuel Lasker. Okay, now that makes sense because Lasker, of course, 10,656. Number 10, Alexander Aliekin, 10,543. Number 11, Mikhail Botvinnik, 9,941. Jose Raul Capablanca, 9,579. Vera Menchik, 8,977. Boris Spassky with 8,278. Wilhelm Steinitz, 8171. Peter Svidler, 8031. Anna Muzichuk, 7883. Poor Fabiano. He's been the number 2 chess player in the world on multiple occasions, and he's got 7297 words. That is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie, for someone who has what I consider to be probably the greatest performance of all time in the Singfield Cup in 2014. That is actually a little bit sad to see. Number 19, Victor Korchnoi, 6497. Number 20, Paul Morphy with 6228. So yeah, that's actually no Kramnik, not yet. Maybe pretty soon we'll see Kramnik, but that's the only one that I'm sad by is Fabi, because I mean he deserves much more credit than that. That's just kind of wrong. I mean, that's just wrong that there are less words written about Fabiano than a bro who was alive in the 1820s. Like that's not right. Let's be serious. That's not right. Not right at all. But anyway, okay. So, what do we have next? Okay, let's keep going. What is this? What do we have? Number 4. What is this? Let me change the scene. What is this? There's some video. Let me unmute this. Okay, unmute the tab. Let me change the scene, of course. What is this? What is this video? Let's turn the volume up.
All shapes and sizes, and as discussed many times, Kickstarter scams come in all shapes and sizes, and as discussed many times on the channel, board games are by far one of the most popular and at the same time one of the hardest to get right. One quick look on the crowdfunding website will leave you in awe at just how popular this category is, with multiple board games going into the millions of dollars on an almost monthly and sometimes weekly basis. And of course you can bet your bottom dollar that Kickstarters based on chess are a dime a dozen. Sadly though, they're far from great. Take Brainiac Chess for example.
Oh my god, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. This video is called Kickstarter's Crazy Chess Scam. I think this is literally going to show the greatest chess scams that have been Kickstarters. Oh my god, this is gonna be great. Let's watch this.
That wanted to charge online chess players money by forcing them to play and earn via the blockchain. Surprise, surprise, this didn't get anywhere near its funding goal, and nor did the 4-player chessboard, because that's a stupid idea that actually already exists and has failed miserably. However, if you truly want the worst of the worst chess-related Kickstarters, then look no further than Regium's electronic chess e-board. Now, on its first day, it pulled in $43,260 towards its $50,000 target, and it had 60 days.
It pulled in 43K in its first day. Are you guys serious? I'm gonna put this up top, by the way, so we don't cover the captions. Holy, 43K in its first day. Dang, thanks. And it had okay, let's keep going.
To hit said target. In other words, it was likely going to be hitting $500,000 at the very least. As the Harry Potter score plays over the campaign video, you see the pieces move freely about the board.
Oh my God, you guys, let me go back. Sorry, I gotta freeze frame this 1 second.
And it had
I gotta freeze frame it 1 second
to hit said target. In other words, it was likely going to be hitting $500,000.
1 second, I gotta freeze it in a second.
As the Harry Potter score plays over the...
By the way, fun fact, you guys, this position on the board, Levy and I actually did a video where we played 10 games against each other with this exact position, and I think I beat Levy 9 of the games with the black side, and he won 1 of them, even though for white this is like +5. There's a video somewhere on YouTube where Levy and I played 10 games with this position, and I played on the black side where it's like +5 for white, and I think I won 9 of the games against Levy, and I lost 1 of them. Yeah, it's a very famous game. It's a very, very famous game. I don't know if the mods have the link to that, but I might watch it after if the mods can find it. Let's keep going.
Campaign video, you see the pieces move freely about the board as if by magic, as it appears that the board is playing against itself, except of course it isn't. But more on that in a bit. It shows off more details regarding its magnets that are hidden inside, its auto correction, and you can even move multiple pieces at once. What? You don't believe me? Then why not check out these definitely not over-exaggerated and definitely not actors' opinion on the Regium E electronic automatic board.
It's absolutely amazing, stunning, revolutionary, simply awesome, and I love the design.
She's talking about Regium, right? Regardless, this is something that chess fans have wanted for a really, really long time. An automatic chessboard that can play against you freely in real time.
Yep.
Now, of course, chessboards like this already exist, and chess enthusiasts have purchased them in droves. Milton Bradley's Chess Master came out in the 1980s, and although amazing at the time, was a tad clunky and rather loud. Square Off is another more modern example, but as great as it is, it's also big, heavy, a little slow, being that it has a single arm magnetically moving each piece hidden inside the board, and of course, it too is a little noisy.
This one, you can hear it, but it's not an annoying sound. It just sounds like something that's functioning. It doesn't sound like something that's grinding away.
Well, okay, it's hardly noisy at all. Either way, Regium's automatic chessboard knocks all of these minor criticisms out of the park. It's lightweight, it's smooth, it's fast, it's completely silent, and best of all, it's totally not a big fat lie. The campaign was being run by a guy called Angel Delgado, a Mensa member engineer, which basically means he's super smart. And as the campaign video progresses, Angel performs a demonstration of playing the game live with a friend across the world. It truly is quite an impressive thing to witness, even if chess isn't your thing.
Like chess, you've got to see this. Let's play.
Now, on the lead up to this campaign's launch, Angel was so in love with his automatic chessboard that he ended up sponsoring a few events, including Chess.com's 2019 Speed Championships.
Today's final is actually brought to you by Regium. Regium is...
Oh my God! Oh, holy! I obviously didn't see this. Let's just say I was not expecting to see this. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
It's a smart tech chessboard that moves pieces automatically. That's the very quick and dirty outline I'm going to give you now, but it's actually quite amazing. They reached out to us. We're super excited to have them as a sponsor just for this final event, and we'll be bringing you all the different details you need to know if you're interested in
oh no, you guys! Oh no, I'm complicit, right? I'm complicit in this. I gotta like return the money to the investors, right? Oh no. Oh my God.
Future, the revolution that is the Regium chessboard.
Chess24.com started singing its praises too, as did lightchess.org. All
What?
of the big players were involved, and everyone was excited about this.
I've never even heard of this thing. What the heck? I never heard of this. Wait, Lee Chess and Chess24. What the heck?
Good to be true chessboard. Well, everyone except the naysayers. Ugh, bloody naysayers, am I right? And what did those naysayers discover? Well, they discovered that this whole thing was a big fat lie. But how was it a lie, I hear you ask? Well, before I give away the answer myself, I'm going to give you the chance to work it out yourself. I've cut a small section of the campaign video down to make it easier for you budding kick scammer detectives. And you know what? I'll even give you a clue. Keep your eye on the knights. You know, the decapitated horse head-shaped thing. Ah, there, did you spot it? Let's play it again.
You want me to watch it? Okay, wait. Let me watch it. Well, is there, maybe I put in 0.25? No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I didn't see it.
That's it. Pencils down. It's time for the big reveal.
I didn't get
what you're
it.
looking at isn't some automated electronical or mechanical chess machine, but instead, what you're looking at is a stop motion animation. If you look closely, Angel would take his turn, move his arm off the screen, and then the stop motion animation would begin. Notice how the pieces never move when even his shadow is present, which to be fair kind of makes sense as it's not the board's turn to move at that point. But looking back again at that knight piece, you may have already spotted the mistake with this animation on this piece in particular. And it was this tiny little error that became the downfall for this entire campaign. What I'm going to do is colour the knight blue to make it easier for you to spot. The pawn moves freely behind it, no problems.
Oh, is the knight
That pawn
changed?
is then taken out by the bishop, and after a little more playtime, the bishop moves along, leaving our wooden horse, aka the knight, with a newly
the shadow.
obtained
The
mate.
shadow. The shadow.
The reason for this is because when that bishop electronically moves away from the knight, the animator didn't do the best job at cutting around the knight's mane and left a small part of that piece behind it.
So wait a second. I'm sorry. I gotta pause for a second. So basically, what you're telling me, or like what this video is telling me, is that if they had a better animation designer, that they probably would have raised like 500 grand. If they had someone who actually like did a better animation, they would have probably raised 500K. Basically, if I understand correctly. Oh my god.
AKA the bishop that just moved away. Now, of course, what that animator should have done is what I've just done right here. Take that knight from earlier on in the video and then cut around it when the pawn is behind it. That way you'll get the perfect shape for later on, but I digress. I'm not here to teach you how to scam people. I'm here to show you up when you fail. Because as soon as this small mix-up was discovered, the chess community on all of those popular sites, some of which Regium was sponsoring, instantly began to blow up, and as all internet communities do, tried to find out more information about the campaign that wasn't legit. And they didn't need to look very hard. Turns out if you go over to the Regium website and look at the About Me page, you'll see several people that nobody knew anything about. Some of these people have never been discovered even to this day, and one of the people that was found had no idea why he was on the website. He had never heard of the company and was not associated with the company in any way. And as for the rest, enter Philip Wang, the owner of the website thispersondoesnotexist.com, an AI technology built website that is created to demonstrate the dangers of artificial intelligence, a website that every time you refresh it creates a completely new fake person that looks almost completely real to the untrained eye. Well, he was here to let people know that at least 4 of these people were created using his website. In other words, they just simply do not exist.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Whoa. Holy. So like these people are not. Oh my god. Oh geez. This is bad. Wow.
The boards themselves
Very
were
interesting.
eventually discovered to be from a company called Regium Fera, and when that company was contracted, they confirmed that they have not collaborated with Regium, and the boards seen in the video have not been modified at all. In other words, all Angel did was put a USB cable under the chess table itself. Thread after thread opened up with hardcore chess players doing what they can to shame this upcoming Kickstarter, leaving Angel with a whole lot of egg on his face. Now, of course, the obvious thing to do in a situation like this, if you are the scammer, is to just stay completely silent. Stay well away from all of the drama, and that's exactly what our scammer didn't do. Thankfully. He ended up sending a message to one of the owners of the website that goes like this.
Your forum has several threads defame us, accusing us of fraud and criminal behaviour. This is in the hands of our lawyers. You have 24 hours to eliminate all defamation and write a public apologies. Otherwise, we will take all legal measures to claim damages for allowing this in your forum. You are notified.
Ooh, handbag! The stupid thing about this is that if he did just stay completely quiet, there's a good chance that he could have got away with all of this, but obviously he didn't. He sent in that email, and as a retaliation, Light Chess, the website that received this email, then decided to create a massive post timelining all of the errors leading up to this point.
Man.
The whole world was now seeing how much of a scammer Regium was. And because of this, even more threads opened up. More people were talking about it, and more fake accounts popped up too, defending the chessboard, which just made this whole situation way worse for the budding scammers.
Wait, it sounds like bots, right? The bots came out from nowhere, right? It sounds like bots, right? Right? It's just bots, of course, obviously.
It even resulted in an expertly created parody video getting made shaming the company, and then some. And then eventually both Chess and Chess24 ended up releasing their own statements that basically acted as a timeline series of events too, calling out the company even more. Which finally brings us to the launch of the Kickstarter. Yes, it made that decent amount of money we spoke about at the beginning of the video, but just imagine how much it could have got. It almost reached its target in one day by budding chess enthusiasts that somehow had missed all of this commotion leading up to the campaign. Thankfully, it didn't last, as every day after it lost more and more as the chess community came in thick and fast to put down $1 pledges and warn the backers of this company's wrongdoings. The end result was that Kickstarter stepped in and cancelled the Kickstarter right near the beginning of its life, leaving the company with no other choice but to ask for donations on their own website. They may no longer have the most popular crowdfunding website in the world behind them, but they do have a mailing list from said website of at least a few people that may not know about all of these issues. They sent out that email with claims that yet another campaign was run in Japan, and it was wildly successful. Which is strange because, one, people in Japan don't tend to play chess, and two, this wildly successful Japanese crowdfunding campaign.
I mean, they would have done better if they had said it was shogi instead of chess. Chess in Japan is not a thing.
No one's ever found it. In other words, it was again another lie, in order to show credibility for the launch of their own crowdfunding website over at Regium.com using the plugin Frenacia. This was done so that they could still earn money without any comment section being seen that could talk badly about them, and of course by doing it like this, they're able to have all of that money go directly to them, instead of having it go via Kickstarter. And yes, sadly we can only assume that they did get a few bites from this downright scummy scam, leaving them with only one thing left to do. Delete the YouTube channel, delete their socials, and delete the website, taking that small amount of money, if they did get any money, away with them, and never being seen again. Now, of course, this was a scam. There's no denying it, but it could have been so much worse. Looking at other electronic chessboards, it's extremely unlikely that any of these campaigns receive less than $1 million apiece. And thanks to hindsight, it's pretty obvious looking back now at how they could have got away with all this, earning even more money if it wasn't for a few very simple yet silly mistakes. Angel, which is obviously not your real name, if you are watching this, I hope this little recap stings hard. You almost became a millionaire, didn't you? Checkmate.
Oh my god.
SlopesGameRoom.gimmeswag.com.
Is that the end? Is there more?
That's the website you need to go. That
Let me skip through the ad.
These and Charles Benjamin
more?
and I would.
That's the end of the video, right? It's the end of the video. Yeah, that was a good video. That was a really good video to watch. I'm kind of floored. I'm trying to figure out if I ever saw that guy. I feel like I might have seen that guy in St. Louis once. Like the face looks vaguely familiar. Like he might have been in St. Louis once, but I'm not actually sure. Watch the parody video. What's it called? Before we get to that, by the way, one other video that I want to show you guys very briefly was this video. There's this video. Okay, so we're gonna play. So those of you guys who see this position, let me change the scene. Of course, this is the position. I'll move my cam, obviously. But this is a video where I played against Levy, and you see this position right here. This is the exact position that they showed in their Regium video. This is the Anderson, I think it was the Evergreen game. This video. So like this is me playing against Levy. Let me see. Did I not have Levy's cam capture on this one? I guess I didn't capture his cam. But yeah, the name of this video is let me Control C it and copy it into the chat. That's the name of the video. So I didn't want to point that out, but you said there's a parody video, basically. There's a parody video of the Regium. Let me see if I can find this. Parody Regium. Scam parody. Okay, is this it? This must be it, right? Is this the right video? Let me move my cam, of course. But this must be the right one. Let's see. What is this video? This has to be the right one, I'm guessing. 1 second. Harry Potter. Loss, okay.
Hola, me llamo Diablo Gordo. Soy parte de un equipo de ingenieros y amantes del arte. Estamos haciendo un nuevo tablero con tecnología automática que va a cambiar el futuro del ajedrez.
Okay,
si te
future
gusta
chess.
el ajedrez, tienes que ver esto. Vamos a jugar.
I love how he's slamming the move down. Oh my god, this is really funny.
The Schemium chess e-board has multiple ways to connect to the computer. Inside the board, electromagnets move the pieces. Our auto-centering technology automatically adjusts the piece back to its correct square. Our variable speed technology moves the pieces at varying speeds. Our lock technology keeps the pieces in place so you can take Schemium on the go.
This is something very special. They're the most imaginative science. Incredible job. Very, very special. We have some very talented people. They are special, special people.
Oh my, wait, what? Pawns have rounded base and can double. Oh my god, what the heck is wrong with this stuff? Jesus.
¿Te gusta lo que ves? Chinga tu madre, chinga tu abuelita, chinga tus
friends.
amigos. Todo necesitan comprarlo. Comprarlo aquí.
That's maybe the best. That's like one of the best videos I've seen in a while regarding chess. That was a great video. That's an amazing video. And just to show you guys one other video, just get back to Levy one quickly. So we're gonna move on to covering the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz in a second. And pull this up. Okay, so we're gonna let me just pull this up. What did I miss with this video? Okay. Why am I laughing?
Let's see if Levy can actually win this against me, because Levy and I did do the Kieseritzky game, the Anderson Kieseritzky game. Let's see if Levy is a man, if he talked the talk. Let's see if he can walk the walk now. Take 3, take 4.
Frankly, I should be reporting Hikaru.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Yeah. Just so you guys know, Levy did eventually win, but he did lose a lot of games before he actually found a way to win. So just wanted to point that out, you guys. Young Pandemic, that would have been, I think, in 2021. Yeah. That would have been 2021. So, all right, you guys, we're gonna move back to covering some events. Let me change the scene.